Welcome to I Said What I Said, a sports podcast giving you opinions not heard anywhere else. I'm your host, Brad Wakai, alongside my co-host, Tyson Gentry. And Tyson, we got a special episode today, man. Like, we're wasting no time. We're not doing what we normally have done throughout the college football season. We're just doing one episode, a bowl game betting special where all we focus on are the bets that we're placing to end the college football season.
Yes. And the way you made that phrasing there to end the college football season makes me think I need to go put one more on the bet slip here for the end of the show.
So we got a lot coming to you. It's fun. It's bowl season. I was frustrated earlier in the year that I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. These games are literally fake. Why am I getting frustrated? Like, just you don't need to be betting crazy amounts of money. Like these
Now,
like insane thing happen.
In fact, like I would caution against that. Like nobody knows what's going to happen in most of these. We're playing. This is all vibes.
A lot of these angles are vibes angles. That's for sure. We got tons of opt-outs, transfer portals running rampant, yada, yada. Before we jump into it, Tyson and I previewed the New Year's Six bowls. We'll be touching on some of those, I'm sure, that we're playing actual angles on. So go check out that episode later in the week. And then also we're going to be previewing the college football playoff itself. We're going in depth. We're giving you breakdowns, things like that. So make sure to check that episode out as well. So we're going to be starting off here with our bowl game special.
You're listening to this one first is because we were too dumb to realize that some of the games we're going to talk about happened before. Like we got to get this episode out now, or else nobody's going to know.
Well, Tyson, that's what happens when you come out of the holiday season, man. Like we just completely lost track of time on Christmas, around Christmas for us. Like it's crazy.
I'm still confused what day of the week it is. I'm not totally sure where I'm at most of the time. I know that I haven't been hungry in about 4 days.
Yeah, that's you got a lot of leftovers and you got a lot of food getting crammed down your throat, dude. I'm in the same boat with you. I'm like, oh, geez, what is happening? So, Tyson, bowl game betting special. We want to give that little intro here, but we got to flip the switch. Money making time. Let's go. This is the last chance that we're going to be able to make some cash on college football. Bowl wise, we got the national championship, and then we're going to be crying as we wait for football to happen in college wise. So this is going to be fun. Let's have some fun on these picks. I have 10. Tyson, you said you got the 10 as well.
I got the 10.
Okay.
Normally we don't align, but it's a special occasion.
Exactly. So I'm gonna throw it to you because you were the winner of the regular season results. Let's say. So you're gonna get the honors box here.
Well, now I don't know where I want to go first, Brad. How about where I'm going to go first is something that I think a lot of people feel. It's something we just talked about in one of our episodes. I'm going with Georgia minus 19.5. Go listen to our New Year's Six breakdown. I won't get too in depth here on this show, but I have a strong suspicion that a message is going to be sent or a statement is going to be made. It just doesn't make sense how Kirby's got these guys like mind control-esque. Like, no, you're all going to show up and play, and you're going to play hard. And they're all like, hell yeah, we are.
Tyson, I'm with you, man. Let's go. Georgia minus 19.5. It's the mismatch on paper, and we'll talk about it more in depth on our preview episode. But, I mean, my goodness gracious. Just the opt-outs that are here, it's sickening for Florida State. Like, first of all, the second strings for Georgia probably can at least compete with the starters for Florida State, and now you're going to take Florida State starters out of the equation. This is a bloodbath waiting to happen. So we're going to ride with the SEC boys here. Let's go Georgia minus 19.5 for us both.
And I'm going to stay with the SEC boys, but these ones, I still don't know if they truly count. Brad, we were texting about this earlier today, and we were talking vibes to start. The purest vibes play on the board for me is Missouri money line against Ohio State at plus 122. Sometimes things just mean a little more, or there's like positive. Like these dudes want to cap the best season in the history of Missouri. Ohio State, like, I'm sorry, I don't believe that in their heart of hearts, these guys are super excited about maybe earning a top 5 finish if they win this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's the stakes are different in this game.
Dude, I'm with you. 2 in a row. How about that Missouri money line back to back? All right, so Tyson and I, we're either going to be eating together or we're going to be crying together. There's no in between. But I mean, we pointed it out we're going to point it out in our preview episode, just kind of looking through Ohio State's out here, like not to get too in depth, but you lose your starting quarterback. You lose a bunch of guys they're expected to not have a lot of guys who are going to be in the NFL on the defense. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to play. Like that greatly impacts what you're going to be able to do on offense. And Devin Brown didn't really show anything that makes you think, oh yeah, come into a stop spot here and let's elevate the offense. So I'm with you. Missouri vibes, money line plus 122. Let's get some juice on the board.
Oh, I'm staying. I think this might be the juiciest board I've ever put together. I'm almost strictly playing underdogs this week because I don't know what the heck's going to happen. So let's try to make some money where we can. Speaking of that, Brad, there's only 4 power conferences left in America, right? Like it's no longer the Power 5, but we do have the Pac-2, and we have Oregon State playing Notre Dame at plus 188. Give me Oregon State because I envision a graphic at the end of the weekend with some absurd number of wins for the Pac-12 versus the losses that they had, and we're all going to be sitting there going, "Damn, I'm going to miss that."
That's just
or maybe if this happened before there would still be a Power 5 conference on the West Coast.
Right. And of course, it took to the last year of the Pac-12 existence to be like, man, this team's actually good. Like we could have 2 guys that actually get into the college football playoff.
That would be awesome.
So I'm with you here on Oregon State. Now I don't have the balls to play them on the money line. So I'm going to take them plus 6.5. And a lot of this has to do with who is opting out. Now, both these teams are going to be pretty barren here. I mean, Oregon State, they lost their head coach, Jonathan Smith. He's at Michigan State. DJU, their starting quarterback, he transferred in the transfer portal. Their backup QB, Aiden Childs, he's in the transfer portal. So you got a bunch of different stuff here. Ben Goldbranson, started the final 8 games of 2022. He's going to get it the start. So they're going to have a guy here, at least who has experience. But Tyson, my God, you want to talk about Notre Dame? Offensive coordinator gone, starting center, starting 3 wide receivers gone, new starting tight end gone, their backup wideout gone, safety out, opt-outs, Sam Hartman, starting running back, starting right tackle, left tackle, and there's 2 starting cornerbacks, their starting linebacker and defensive back. See you later. To me, this is insane. Oregon State might run the ball on this team.
Wouldn't that be insane? Well, it's an important point before we get too much farther in the show, and honestly, we should mention it in the other ones. You look like an owl when you're watching bowl games these days in college football because it's just who all over the field. Like you've never heard of these guys, and if you have, it's because you're a sicko, and we love you. Brad, my next play here, let's keep it on the West Coast, baby. Arizona's going to beat Oklahoma minus 122. That's what Oklahoma, the fantastic season, much better than I thought they were going to do at the end of the year. In the middle of the season, you and I were saying, like, man, how wrong were we on this Oklahoma team? Never really stopped to think about, like, oh, Arizona's actually put together a heck of a season themselves too, right? And Dylan Gabriel gone. We'll see what that looks like or what how that affects Oklahoma here. But look, man, I'm riding with the West Coast because I'm never going to get a chance to do it again.
I'm getting nervous, man. I'm with you. Arizona money line. Again, this is feast or famine for Tyson and I here. But again, you want to talk about a vibes thing. So like you said, Dylan Gabriel starting cornerback transferred. So Jackson Arnold, talented guy. He's going to start. But their offensive coordinator, Jeff Lebby, he's the new head coach at Mississippi State. So you're going to have that something on short-term notice here. Really, 3 of the running backs are transferring. Starting left guard in the transfer portal. 2 offensive guards in the transfer portal. Now, these are backup guys, but if you're losing players like an opt-out from their starting right tackle, then the starting center, you need depth. You need it. And Oklahoma is not going to have that. Arizona, Tyson, the only guys leaving this program in the transfer portal are people who got reduced snaps, didn't quite fit with what Jed Fish is looking for, and an opt-out from their left tackle, Jordan Morgan, who's probably going to be an NFL player. Everybody else is back. Everybody else is hungry. Like they want to bring Arizona football back, and I think they can do it with a big statement win over Oklahoma.
I don't know if you guys are noticing a theme here, but maybe after my next one, SMU minus 10.5. Fantastic season for SMU. 10.5 against Boston College. I know about who's not playing. I know everything going on. This is a situation where what are they, 17 in the country, 21 in the country, something like that. They're looking to finish off a fantastic season as well. There's a lot of guys in that building that, this wasn't supposed to happen when they showed up at SMU. Boston College, similarly, like these guys, you didn't expect them to be here, but at 10.5, I struggle to not root for some of the storylines at this point of the year.
That'd be a good win for SMU. It really would. Another good win here. I'm taking NC State money line against Kansas State. Now, Will Howard is in the transfer portal. He's already committed to his new school. So, what's that offense going to look like for Kansas State? Now, on the flip side, the interesting thing here about NC State is MJ Morris. He's in the transfer portal. He was their starter for a while, but he didn't play after week 10. They went back to Brennan Armstrong. This is his last hurrah. He was getting booed when he was on the field by NC State fans. He was supposed to reunite with his coordinator that he had at Virginia. It's supposed to be a fun little last year for Armstrong. It was horrible for NC State. Not a good way to go out, but it's started playing himself back. They're ranked. I think this could be a nice little, in bowl season how college careers always end fun. I think this could happen for Brennan Armstrong. Now, NC State does have people in the portal, 2 running backs, not necessarily on the depth chart, a couple wide receivers that weren't on the depth chart, actually 3 of them. So they're losing some depth pieces, but really none of the studs, none of the starters. And we know Dave Dorn gets these guys fired up and ready to play. So give me NC State on the money line. We're getting them for plus money right now.
Yeah, this is what bowl season's all about. Brad, one thing that's just, again, can't escape my mind is it just doesn't feel fair to Liberty to do this to them. I'm going with Oregon minus 16.5. I think I'd be comfortable with this, the same number Georgia's at, probably even a little more, because this is an Oregon. I really think that this is like they're approaching this like they're playing in a big game. And a lot of times, like when Tulane beat USC last year or Boise State beat Oklahoma, a lot of times, like pick whatever small school beating a big school that was really good. Those big schools had guys that didn't really care, right? Or how many times do we see the SEC, after bowl season, the teams that didn't make the college football playoff, they get rolled, and then it's like it doesn't matter. It matters to this Oregon team, and they're just flat out 25 points better than Liberty is on Liberty's best day in Oregon's.
I am surprised to see how many players are playing for Oregon. Like it's a tribute to what they built there, what Dan Lanning's got going on. Honestly, Bo Nix, because I think if he would have opted out, how many his guys on offense? I think few more of them might have decided to opt out as well. Tyson, I have an angle in this game. I'm going to take the over, and it may seem square, but I mean these offenses can go, and we see what Oregon does to teams when they're way above their league. That could be the case here with Liberty, or if Oregon scores 40, maybe even 50. I got a hard time thinking that Liberty's not going to be able to spread out Oregon and get some points of their own. Like Washington was able to do that effectively against Oregon. Other teams this season have been able to at least score a little bit on them. Liberty is really efficient. They have a good quarterback, Caden Salter. If they can at least score a couple touchdowns here, I think we could get this and then some if Oregon decides to bring their A game and they bring that attitude. So over 66.5 for me.
How much fun would a Liberty versus Colorado game be?
Oh man, that would be fun. You want to talk about an over? You can play it up to 80.
Yeah, that might. And now I'm a little bit upset that we're never going to get to see these two versions of these teams match up. I'm going to get into the college football playoff and stuff now. Is that where you're at as well, or you still got some more kind of?
I have one CFP, one New Year's Six, and another one. No, that's not true. I have 4 that's not. No, 3 that's not, and 1 CFP.
Okay. Wait, how did I must have deleted one out of here that I didn't mean to. Regardless, I'm taking Alabama money line. Go listen to the college football playoff breakdown to find out why. I think that this is going to be another instance of like, oh yeah, that's what happens.
Tyson, I can't play it with you, unfortunately, because I took an early number, and so I can't get there. I mean, but me, man. I mean, we were breaking this down. Go check that out. You're plus 106 for you here for Alabama. I mean, it just feels like, really? You're going to go against Nick Saban? Like that's the best way you want to go about it? I'm not sure. But I have another play coming up from the CFP, a different angle. But Tyson, I got to go here. You want to talk about vibes? How about this? How about a way to send off your legendary coach and a legend in the program? Let's go Wyoming on the money line here. Minus 160. That's what we get against Toledo. Geez. For me,
you love Toledo.
I do, man. I love Toledo, but Craig Bull announcing he's going to retire after this game. He wanted to stay. He's going to be a sign-on. Like these guys are going to be fired up for this legend. Their offensive coordinators, he's gone, taking over the new head coaching job at North Dakota State. That's interesting. And their starting cornerback Colby Taylor's gone. But I mean, this is going to be a fired-up team. And Tyson, on the flip side, Daquan Finn, starting QB for Toledo, stud. transfer portal. Tucker Gleason, 69 career snaps, is going to start against this Wyoming defense. Their starting left guard, who has 838 snaps, Vinny Scurry for Toledo. Transfer portal. Come on now. Give me Wyoming. Great way to say goodbye to your program legend. Wyoming's going to win this football game minus 160.
Craig Bowl deserves to be on whatever Mount Rushmore you want to build. I mean, that dude built the most insane college football program of all time, and now he's, he turned Wyoming into a respectable program. Brad, I probably should have mentioned this while we were going. I said this was going to be my play of the week, but I already gave out the two separate ones. If you play a Georgia Bulldogs minus 13.5 ticket and Oregon Ducks minus 13.5 ticket, at least here in Montana, I don't know what it is for everybody else out there. It's plus 132. And that's a bet that I like quite a bit. I think they're both going to win by 2 touchdowns. I already took the individual spreads. We're all scatterbrained here today. It's the holidays. Who cares? I think if I can get plus money on my 2 favorite bets of the week, then it's the end of the year. You got to do it.
That's your play of the week, right? You text me a reminder.
Yeah, we'll do it. Well, yeah. We'll call it that. I still got more in the slip here, but
okay, no worries. Yes. But you said don't let me forget this, so I'm going to put it out now so we don't forget that, because I know we can get a little crazy here, especially with giving out 10 games and in different areas to attack. But we'll mark that down as your play of the week, because I know that's what you really wanted to here. So plus 132 for you there. For me, Tyson, I'm doing it one last time. Why would I not have one more chance to bet on my favorite team, where I can either be happy that they're going to win, pissed that they're going to lose, or ecstatic that they're going to cover, and absolutely devastated that they're not? So give me Penn State minus 4.5 against Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl. This is a big game for Penn State too, and we're going to talk about a little bit like why this might be the most exciting game in our preview of the New Year's Six Bowls. Like, this might be the most exciting game that we see, because at least the most competitive, because both these teams are playing for something. Like, they really want to compete and win in this football game. So I think Penn State's got a better defense. I actually think their offense is going to be better. The further away you get it from Mike Yurcich, I think the more positive we're going to get for the Nittany Lions. So give me Penn State minus 4.5.
So I remember when I said that I think I deleted one out of my bet slip. I did, Brad, and it's Ole Miss money line plus 162. I figured I gotta put some stink on it here. It feels like we started the year so hot, playing Penn State spreads and money lines, and we were in lockstep every step of the way. And then we kept doing it, and we kept losing. And so, for your sake, I am taking the Ole Miss Rebels. I do believe that just the tempo and the angles that their offense creates is going to be something that Penn State hasn't seen. I don't know, if that's going to mean that Ole Miss wins the game. I'm doing this for my friend so he can watch the college he went to and the college he loves win the biggest game that will be the biggest game that they've won in quite some time.
Yeah, you know what? I appreciate that. You're looking out for me. So here's the deal. Either you're going to be right, and at least I can be happy for you.
Yes.
Or you're going to be wrong, and at least I'm going to be happy either way. Now, what would be bad, I guess, for our betting sense, if Penn State wins by a field goal, because we both lose. But at least I'll be happy because Penn State wins.
Yeah, and then I'm happy for you. I mean, I'm not lighting the bankroll on fire here on the Ole Miss Penn State game. I think this one is going to be maybe too close to call.
Okay, so I got one more, Tyson. This is my college football playoff play before I get into my play of the week. So I'm going to go Washington plus 4.5. Now, I think there's going to be a different winner. Go listen to our preview that we're going to be coming out, because we go in depth on these different things. I think there's going to be a different winner, but I think 4.5 is just way too much for this game.
I like how you're teasing it like, who could that winner be in a game of 2 teams?
True. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it's not a horse race. So I'm going to take the points with Washington here. Now, this would be an insane middle. Texas, I think, is going to win the game, but I think Washington's going to cover. So I think it's obviously a 3-point game. What's an exact on Texas by 3? Maybe I should look into that if we're going to do the horse betting sense here. But Washington's been disrespected all year, and I was one of the teams that disrespected them against Oregon twice. I paid the price twice. And I just think they're going to be fired up for this one. Kalen DeBoer's an intense guy. Like, they got ways they can attack Texas. Texas has ways they can attack Washington. I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be a field goal game.
Washington was the only team that was nice to me during this college football betting season. I'm taking Washington money line at plus 152. I have a half play left. Do you want me to and listen to the college football playoff breakdown again? But Brad, I just have to slip it in before the year ends. We have the Montana Grizzlies playing in the national championship. They're sitting here at plus 370. The line opened, it was a little bigger, and we did do a show. So I got to do it now and throw that down. Look, South Dakota State's probably the best FCS team that we've seen in quite some time. So maybe fade me if you would like. But it's my alma mater. It's the place that I live. Go Grizz.
No, I love that. We had somebody comment on our YouTube, also a Grizz fan, said go Grizz, which was awesome to see. I'm from same hometown as Tyson. I didn't go to U of M, but I got to root for these guys, man. Of course.
Why same hometown as me, and grew up in the same city as Junior Bergen. So you're well connected here, huh? You got both angles.
I know. So I got it. That's why I got to go for the Grizz. I mean, of course, I'm not a traitor here. I'm not a Benedict Arnold. So it's all Grizz here, baby. I love it. Tyson, my play of the week. You want to talk about an angle here? You're going to love this one. I'm taking Rutgers on the money line against Miami. Now, why in the world would you bet Rutgers against Miami? Well, I'll tell you, folks. Do you know where this game is being played?
Yeah.
This is the Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium. And we got a Gabagool Rutgers team coming in to Yankee Stadium. Got a bunch of Jersey kids, grew up idolizing the Yankees. We got players playing this game who want to play. Kyle Monagai, their starting running back, he's set to come back for another season. It was potentially he might have transferred, may have gone to the NFL, whatever the case may be. Only one opt-out from Max Melton, their star cornerback. That's it. Everybody else is playing. They lost some depth pieces. Nobody else really of note. Look at the other team, Miami. Tyler Van Dyke, starting wide out, gone. Starting wide receiver, Colby Young, out. Starting linebacker, starting edge, two other edge rushers. Opt-out, two starting safeties, starting defensive tackle, starting center, starting left guard. See you later. Really? They want to come up into New York around this time of the year? They're going to want to bang. They don't want to bang down low in Miami. And now you're going to play these kids who are going to be inspired on Yankee Stadium, want to make a statement for themselves. Give me Gabagool. Give me Gandolfini. Give me Rutgers or give me death. Play of the week, Rutgers money line.
This is why you stick around to the end of shows, because I think this is the only podcast or really content in America where the payoff is going to be a Rutgers money line bet. I love that.
Oh, man, I knew you were going to like that angle. Okay, let me just go through. So I think I got all mine in. Did you get all yours in?
Yes, unless I deleted something else, but I don't think so.
I think I got all mine. Okay, sweet. So anything else that you want to give before we get out of here? I know you like to play sometimes some funky ones. Anything that you like, not official, but anything that you're looking at?
Oh, I think like if you're on FanDuel, I think messing around with the hypotheticals makes some sense here before the games. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. But if you right now really believe it's going to be Alabama, Texas, or you think it's going to be Alabama, Washington, or whatever, you can get on early. Again, I would rather probably just parlay those two games and go that route. But if you're somebody who likes kind of messing around there, that's my recommendation.
And Tyson, of course, we got the itch. I mean, we're playing games, but if we're watching, we're live betting, where can they find those picks?
It'll be in the Chalkboard app. You can find it on the App Store, Google Play, wherever you download your apps. Group name is ISWIS, presents the Roundtable Pod. There will be more bowl games in it. Brad, I have a sneaking suspicion that as New Year's gets closer and the drinks start flowing, that Chalkboard app might start blowing up a little bit more, which is good for us. Just type that name in. We'll let you write in. It's free. It's just a good time. And let us know how you're ending the college football season. There were so many opportunities today where we're on the same page, where if you've been listening to the show, you can fade us you can parlay those 5 games together, and you might have a great start to 2024.
Absolutely. Well said, Tyson. This is our last chance that we get to bet college football, really. And so we want to take full advantage of it if you want.
Just take those 5, fade us, and get your money to start 2024.
In the meantime, guys, we appreciate you watching as always. Like, subscribe, and share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button on the way out. If you're listening in podcast form and you haven't rated or reviewed, giving us 5 stars, please do that if you haven't already. It does help us out. Again, we appreciate your support from the bottom of our heart. We don't want to take advantage of that, but we do. It does help us out. So if you like what you're listening to, please go ahead and do that. It does help us in the long run. And then don't be a stranger. I mean, come connect us on socials, X, Instagram, TikTok. It's the same handle at ISWIS_pod. So we've been alluding to it. We got our New Year's Six Bowl previews coming out and our college football playoff in-depth preview coming out as well. Like we dive into these, look at different stats where we think teams can take advantage of that. So that's coming out later in this week. So stay tuned. Also an NFL betting preview as we continue to churn through that season. So we got you covered here. So we'll speak to you all soon. Until then, guys, peace.